More than 40,000 people are killed every year on our nation's roads, and the numbers are especially troubling for pedestrians and cyclists.
My biggest concern is always being hit by a car.
Philly Bike Action organizer Chris Dasher and his fellow cyclists have had enough.
City Council! God speak now!
They're calling for better protection for cyclists and pedestrians after 3 people were killed in just a few weeks this summer, including a beloved pediatric cancer doctor who was run down by a speeding driver in a bike lane.
It's been really a heartbreaking summer. This didn't have to happen. It didn't have to be that way.
And it's not just Philadelphia. Nationwide, since 2019, we've seen an overall 17% increase in traffic fatalities, with 20% more pedestrians and nearly 30% more cyclists killed.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is fear for kids, especially my own kids. This summer, we've seen how dangerous it can be out there.
So, Madam Mayor, as far as we can see, you've done a whole lot of nothing.
Philly Bike Action took their fight to City Hall, protesting a cut in the city's budget for Vision Zero, an internationally recognized traffic safety strategy to reduce traffic deaths and serious injuries through infrastructure changes. It focuses on things like green and concrete protected bike lanes, high visibility crosswalks, lane reductions known as speed diets, road humps, and lower speed limits.
Here's the big spike. What happened right there?
When COVID hit, we saw a pretty significant jump.
Center for Auto Safety Executive Director Michael Brooks says the spike in traffic fatalities started in 2020 and peaked in 2022. The leading causes: speeding and aggressive driving, distracted driving, alcohol and drug use, and lack of seatbelt use.
The data suggests that from the pandemic through, now, most of the people who are engaged in these risky behaviors are men and young men.
Brooks says a significant drop in traffic stops and police enforcement that started just before COVID appears to have a link to the increase in reckless driving.
What that results in are drivers that know they can speed without getting pulled over.
He says slowing people down on the roads is the key to saving lives, which is the main focus of Vision Zero. First adopted in Sweden in the 90s, followed by many other European countries, now seeing success. This 2023 International Transport Forum Road Safety Report found 34 member countries averaged a 6.5% drop in road deaths from before the pandemic to 2022, compared to a 16% increase in the U.S. But it's not for lack of trying here. More than 50 U.S. communities have committed to Vision Zero.
Why are we not seeing that success here in the U.S.?
There's been lip service paid to the idea of Vision Zero, but the actual work that needs to be done on the ground to introduce infrastructure improvements and to, dedicate money to making those improvements hasn't been done.
A few notable U.S. cities have made that commitment and are seeing results, including Hoboken, New Jersey, which has had 0 traffic deaths for 7 years, Jersey City, which had no deaths in 2022, and Alexandria, Virginia, which joined the ranks of 0 traffic fatalities last year, ending 2023 with no deaths.
The fact is that if we can get our speed under control, we're going to see thousands of lives saved every year. And it's a sacrifice that most of us should be willing to make.
But that takes investment from city governments, something these Philly residents say they will keep fighting for.
We know what we need to do to make things safe. We can bring it to 0. Traffic deaths are not inevitable.
For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreski.